Hello everyone, and thanks for hanging out with me. Zoom in a bit, see all this garbage in the back. I hope you're all doing well. This is Let's Talk EV. I hope to do that always, almost every Sunday at 7:15. When do we see the monitor? Now we're gonna put that away. I hope you're all cool and all good. I hope it's all working. Aloha, good evening. Jürgen is here, Photostorm is here, a lot of patrons and supporters. I say that right now. If you want to support the channel, there's YouTube membership for different categories, and I'm on Patreon as well, and I have merch and clump. That's all down here, and link in the description and everything. Hey, yeah, Darren, the Life of Batteries, is on his tour. I will see him next week on Saturday. Already made meeting point and everything. David's World is here. That's nice. Why is it also crooked? Yeah, I have to move that. I hate that. Yeah, it has to be like this. Is that better? Servus. Last Peter is here also. Member. That is good. I'm gonna go through some bit of news. Groam is here. I haven't seen you in a while. Oh no, you were here last week. I'm thinking of someone else. Sorry. I'm horrible. What do you think of the MG4 ID3 lookalike? We'll talk about this all. What I think about MG and everything. Halfway through the show. Bye for now. Go enjoy. Yeah, first I want to go through a bit of news. What happened the last 2 weeks, because I didn't do anything last week. And then getting the Polestar BST 207 early next year. Cool. Yeah. Lars Peter has his second Polestar, and he's so not at the same time, and he's getting the special edition. He was how you say that? Chosen. Let's go through some news. I have prepared everything, but for some reason it's gone. Cindy was on the computer. I'm so mean. Where are we? There I am. So, what do we have? We need cars. We need charging was nothing, but this is important. And what was cars? Going with this. EQE is starting. Nissan starting. And Volkswagen starting with the bus. Was there everything? Wasn't too much. The thing was important. Where is it? Come on. Screw off advertising. Ioniq 6. MG4. We talk about that. And ID Aero. Yep. Okay, first news. You need Google Translate. Nah, it's all fine. You don't need to. I tell you. And the news will be, I'm sure, on an English site as well. God, stupid advertising, go away. Don't need you. But they need money too. Yeah, Volkswagen started production. How you say that? They made the first thing of their factory to build their own battery cells in Salzgitter, where they right now are producing motors, and I think also the electric motors. I think so. MG was AB winner. I saw. Was it? What is an AB winner? Foundation. Yeah. Well, they didn't do anything. It just stood around and looked. But nice that I thought they already started it a long time ago. I didn't know. Then EQE is being sold. The Mercedes EQE with an 89 kilowatt hour battery. You can have a bigger one too. I think 190 kilowatt hours. But what? Not a big difference. What is this? Where are we? I'm looking. 90 and 89. Hey. 1 kilowatt hour more? That's the small and the big battery. Okay. The Nissan Ariya is now, you can now order it and configure it. By the way, I will talk about it in a second, but I asked someone for to test drive the car, of course. Then Volkswagen started production of the ID bus again, where a week ago they had to stop production because the batteries that they got from China were all wrong. They couldn't use them, so they had to stop production. They couldn't produce an ID bus. But important is, so this is on a different, in a different factory in Emden, and the factory in Zwickau, where ID3, ID4, ID5, Cupra Born, Audi Q4 e-tron is being built, was not affected. That was continuing to be built. Yeah, Ioniq 6 was unveiled, and the front I think is okay, but the rear looks horrible. I'm sorry, it's just not my thing. I'm sure it's great for drag coefficient, but that second spoiler and that whole back is so disgusting. The front is okay. I'm sorry, I rather have a bit higher consumption. I'm horrible. I also, with this, I asked Jürgen Sangl last year. He was so nice and gave me an Ioniq 5 when it just came out to test drive, and for half a day, for a few hours. And I asked him if we can do that with the Ioniq 6 as well when it comes out next year, and he said yes, we can. So that's interesting. Then where everybody is talking about when it comes to ID3 is the MG4. Should be coming in the end of 2022 to Europe. Will have 51 or 64 kilowatt hour battery, WLTP range 450 kilometers, and had 150 kilowatt rear wheel drive. A small battery is 125 kilowatt. But also rear-wheel drive, as I think, yeah. And we'll talk about MG in a second, because everybody is saying, yeah, that's the new ID3 or whatever. That's the stuff, but cheaper. And the last news that was interesting, I wasn't invited and was okay. I wouldn't have gone because it just the ID Aero was unveiled, and I'm sure it would have been nobody could look inside. YouTube just pulled up a message. Hey, it would be a good time to press a button and roll advertising. Should I press that button? No, I'm nice. When we're done, when we're done with the news, I will press the button. See what happens. Gonna make me rich. Yes, but it would have been just a 5-minute walk around the car and whatever. So. That wouldn't have been anything for me, but the car looks great, and it's looks very much like what the ID7 will look like. So ID6 is the Chinese car, and they thought of naming this sedan and then the Tourer with a station wagon ID6 in Europe, but then they said nah, that we can't do that, and people get confused. What is it now? You said ID6 already. What's this? So it will most likely be ID7, and I think after that will be one more car after 87. So I guess a crossover, whatever, between SUV and not, and then I think that's it. With MEB platform cars. I mean, there will be an ID3 facelift, maybe ID4 facelift, but I think then that's it. Then it's Trinity in 25, hopefully. We'll see. Then see what happened with construction of Ionity. Anything new? No. This is all 2 weeks ago. And what went live? Take your time. No, they're not. Look at the map. What is new in Germany? Yeah, it's cute. So they're building a new Ionity charger here. In many years. So when I was little, there was this highway here, A94 from Munich it goes to Passau, and it's shorter than the route that I'm taking all the time, which is A3 and then A92. The problem is, right now it's not even finished, but when I was little, there was just the highway until here or so. So just 20-30 kilometers, and the rest was country road. Now they're trying to make this whole route a highway. So far it comes to, I think, here. It's a highway, but then it's country road B12 all the way to A3. So the most of the part is still a country road, and it's a very busy country road. You cannot pass. So, and a lot of trucks. So you're faster going up away to Munich than it is here. But at some point they want to finish that. And there's a new Ionity charger building here. And I read in the news that EMBW is building a hyper hub, so with many chargers, 10 or so, here in Dorfen. So there will be charging whenever this is built, and maybe this is a better route to get to Munich. Unless you want to get to the airport, then the upper route is again better because the airport is up here. But if you want to go into Munich, this is good. That was my history lesson with highways in Germany, where I needed to go. Anything else new? This was already last week. Ooh, there's 2 new ones in Norway. Construction, I didn't know that. Cool. Okay, we close that. And then let's press the commercial button. Is my frame rate weird? No. Let's press it and see what happens. Do you really get at the same time commercial? I want to see that. 3, 2, 1. So are you then behind, or are you still live, or do you see it at the same time? How does this work? I have no idea. Yes, we have. Is the elephant's march that you sibling? I don't know what that means. You were little, that must have been a long time ago. Yes. 5-second ad. That's okay. But did you just see the ad, or was I gone? Did you not see the 5 seconds? Are you still with me? Or so in time? I see no ads. Are you premium? No commercial. Okay, maybe you're premium. I'm premium. I moved from. Whoa, what can I get? I moved from. Darren is watching the Blue Man Group in Berlin. Cute. That is cute. How about my Landroid? Oh, it's charging. That's good. Still with you. No ad. That's okay. Yeah, I switched to premium on YouTube. It's just way nicer. And I learned from other YouTube channels that premium for a creator to earn money. So when you create content, you get AdSense. So people are watching ads, and then you get money from Google, so YouTube. And if the person watching is not a premium YouTuber that does not have YouTube Premium, that's how it is, then every view counts as income. So if I post a video, someone watches the first 10 seconds, and there is advertising in the beginning, and it says, oh, it's just a crappy video, I don't care, and goes away, I still get money for it. I mean, if people watch more and then they get advertising in between, and at the end I get more. But if someone with YouTube Premium is watching the video and just watches the first few seconds, I almost don't get anything. It's all about time of watch time. Very interesting. I didn't know that. Maybe you could do a voice over the repeated ads they use. Do you get a lot of repeated ads? I think I get well, I haven't seen a YouTube ad in a long time. I've been member for a few months now. With the ads, YouTube gets more income than you do. Of course they get more than I do. That's of course. Do you use Ad Blocker Plus or YouTube Blocker? Who's blocking? No ads still live. Yeah, a lot of people are using Ad Blocker. You do what you want to do. It's fine. I think it's cheating. Nah, it's fine. I get it. Yes, topic today is the MG5 and the MG Marvel R. I tested the MG5 last week and the Marvel R this Friday, both in Freising. Just make your own ads. Yeah, it would be the best. This is a pen, the best pen in the world. You should try that. Yeah, there is no company who wants me to do ads, and I think I would feel weird if it has nothing to do that I'm interested in. It's just weird. Yeah, so AHM, Autohaus Freising, they is a Renault dealer. They had the new Renault Megane E-Tech there, which I can't have from them. And they also have Dacia and they have MG. And the MG cars they have, they don't own them. MG owns the car, but they gave it to them for people to test drive and they can order. And they have a lot of MGs. They have not just the cars that that people can try. Just pooping to say hello. So funny. Hey Marty, how are you? Get Cindy to model your t-shirts and bathrobes. Hi. I should do that. I'm way better at it. So I asked them if I can do a little test ride, not just as a customer. And I said we have to ask MG, and they said no for a long time because they had the MG Marvel R for many, many months. I would say this winter or something like that. But I asked again and they said, I can ask MG again. I have a really good contact at AHM, really nice person. Thanks if he's watching. I doubt it. And he said, well, MG said, yes, you can test the car now. Because I asked MG themselves a lot, the press department, hey, when can I have a press car? And they always said, sorry, you're on the list, but we only have a few cars and blah, blah, blah. On a junket today, fire, food and beer in Croke Park, corporate hospitality for the win. Ah, okay, have fun, enjoy. And so they said, yes, I can have it. So last week, on Friday, I had the MG5. The videos are already online. Marvel R videos will be coming this Tuesday and Thursday, but we're still talking about it. Any plans for testing Nissan Ariya? We talk about that too. We talk about all the plans that are coming up. But my Patreons and YouTube members know everything already for a while. I tell them everything right away when it happens. Sometimes I announce something and then I have to take it back because it's been cancelled or whatever. But every time you ask them, for, your subtotal is rising, so it will get to a point they will let you have. It's like I said, I don't know if it has to do with that, because I had maybe like 3,000 more from 20 to 23. I don't know. It's possible. But or they say, it's cheaper to not bring him a car and pay for the delivery. He can just pick it up himself, drive it for a few hours, and that's it. And I have to say, it was okay. I would have loved to test it at home on my usual road because it's just in Freising there is no Ionity. The next one is 90 kilometers away. So to drive 90 kilometers, charge and then end there and then go 90 kilometers back just takes a lot of time. And it's a route that I'm not familiar with when it comes to maybe there's a speed limit or a construction or whatever, and there is a construction zone 8 kilometers in each way, 60 and 80, and that's a problem. And so when I start in Freising there is a fastnet, but it's also a few kilometers away from the highway, maybe like 4, something like that. I don't even know exactly. That again, I cannot drive in the speed that I want the car to drive, and so my average speed is low, and it was on both tests very low. The Model R even lower. What was it? I have to look. I have it all already in my spreadsheet. Where are we? Range test, that's wrong. Real consumption is also wrong. It's EV consumption, range. No, it was the same average speed on both, 114, where when I start in Posa at Ionity on the highway, and I don't have a construction, I just turn around and come back, I have like 1.5 kilometers of not 130 in good conditions, and then I have an average speed of 125 to 126. And there I had 114 because it was 8 kilometers of not highway and then 16 kilometers of low speeds and then turnaround point, which is another kilometer or so. So my average speed was just low. And well, we can talk about 2.4. Hello, when we will get 2.3 update? I think you mean 2.4. 2.3 you should already have. That was the first over-the-air update. But I understand, don't worry. It's starting tomorrow on the 11th. The dealers get all the VINs that they can contact tomorrow. So tomorrow the invitation can start. And if somebody calls, hey, I want the 2.4 update, when do we have an appointment? They can look in their database, okay, your VIN is free for that update. You have 2.3 and you have everything that you need. You have that means we can do the update with you. Let's do it next week or this week or whatever, or tomorrow, whenever. I have my appointment already, but it's later. First, let's talk AMG. Okay. I drove all Europe or Germany only. It should be most of Europe. A few countries, I think they told me that Greece gets it 2 weeks later or so, at the end of July, for whatever reason. I don't know why. You should visit the new Energy Box charge station at Sortimo Innovationspark at Süßmushausen. It looks amazing. Architecture with cables coming down from the roof. 72 DC charge point. I think I saw that, yeah. But it's far away. Süßmushausen is very far away. Very far away. Yeah, I know. Out of Specs was there. It's known for a few months or a year already. It's been there for a while, but it's very far away. I'm not going somewhere for a charger. Nobody cares. I'm sorry. There's charging all over the place. MG5. I picked up the MG5 so last Friday, not this Friday, a week before, July 1st. And what can I say about the car? You saw it in the two videos. Overall, the car looks great. The charge port in front is okay. You can see the bit of cheapness that they put in when it comes to the charge port rubber thingies and how it's done. Also inside the interior and everything, it feels a tiny bit cheaper, but it's not a problem. That's totally fine. I don't care about that. I don't care about plastic or whatever. That's totally fine. And I don't care that MG is Chinese. Yes, in the last few months we all learned that maybe we should buy stuff that's produced in Western countries or in our own country, because we don't want to depend on the outside world, because there could be a problem and then everything breaks down. We learned that, even though we should know that, but we like to pay nothing for phones and whatever, and then other people work for nothing, and that's why we get them for a very low price. That's sadly how it is. And so it's our fault, the same as it is the company's fault and government's fault. It's all fault. And so MG5, I drove it a bit. Power is, it's front wheel drive. What's the difference between station wagon and crossover? I would call this a station wagon. Crossover for me is a Hyundai Kona, not a real SUV. That's what I would, you got your phone for nothing? No, but cheaper if it would be built and constructed, everything in Germany. I'm pretty sure it would be way more. I got my ID4 I get my ID4 in about 3 weeks and we'll have 3.1 installed. Yes, I asked someone else in the States that gets 3.1 and they couldn't answer me if it's really 3.1 that Europe has or it's just the name, because nobody could tell me if they have the trip meter in the instrument cluster. the look isn't bad. No, it looks okay. MG5 looks good. Go to NX is 100, so different 16. I don't know what that means. Oh, that it's different size or whatever. Did you know that WeCharge apparently do not support Ionity stations? I did not know that. And I planned trips to, I don't know, not Switzerland, France and whatever. So I didn't know that. It would be weird if WeChat does not support all Ionity stations. I think that's a problem there then. Something wrong. It should support every Ionity station since Volkswagen owns a part of it. That's weird. There's something wrong. Maybe it's just for whatever reason not in the WeCharge yet. That is weird. So I drove the MG5 and it drives. It's all right. It's okay. And again, every person is different. I'm saying that right now, and I saw it in the video too. Everyone is different. Sorry. I like a stable, comfortable drive, and if it's bumpy, if it's weird, if the steering feels light, it doesn't have control and no stability, for me that's something uncomfortable that I don't want to use, and MG5 falls in that category. The suspension was very, very bumpy. You feel every tiny little bump you feel, and then right into your back. The steering is very light, and that's okay. That's a taste thing. But also in the middle, there's a bit of a gap where nothing is happening. So driving it is not the best feeling. What I noticed at high speeds, 180, it didn't feel much worse, so that was okay. It's all about what you want. What I noticed, I don't think it's that cheap. So an MG5 in the luxury version, I'm so mean, is 38,000 euros, but you get a 60 kilowatt hour battery. But the thing is, what do you get range? So I drove the MG5 and I had a very, very low average speed, only 114, when, for example, in my ID3, when I did the test, I had 122. Or let's take the, what else do we have? With 60 kilowatt hour battery. Yeah. My ID3 was better weather. It was warmer when I did that. But with the lower speed, I get still less range. So in the MG5 with 114 kilometers an hour, I only got 258 kilometers of range. So if I would have driven the average speed that I usually should drive, 126, it would have been less. So let's say 230, 220 kilometers of highway range at 130. So when you want to go on a long distance trip. And I think that for a still 60 kilowatt hour battery, that is not that amazing to only get 230 kilometers of highway range. The car didn't have too many kilometers, so it was pretty new. So I was a bit disappointed with that. When it comes to the infotainment system, it was a normal size. I was okay with it. I found the layout very nice. I found it to behave really nice, to see a lot of info that I liked. There was a few annoyances, like with most cars, for example, every time you get into the car, it's in normal drive mode and the regen is on level 2. It's just every time, even if you want something else, then you have to change it yourself all the time. Skoda Enyaq does that too, for example. So that happens. That's not a problem. Infotainment system overall, I like the map a lot. So navigation was very cool. The sound system was not amazing, but again, that's nitpicking. It's not the most important part. That was for me. For me, it was more about driving. Then a week later, I drove the MG Marvel R last Friday. Videos are coming this Tuesdays and Thursday. I did a range test again, and I did a review and drive test how it is. And I have never seen from one car maker building two cars that are so completely almost opposite and different. Where the MG5 has a charge port in the front, Marvel R has it in the rear right. Marvel R had a frunk. In the performance model there is no frunk, and the frunk was big. Also the trunk was very big. The seats were way better in the Marvel R. MG5 had a weird bump in the lower back where lumbar support should be. There wasn't, and there is a thing to turn, put the lumbar support more into. It wasn't nice. Marvel R, the seats were just better. Driving wise, Marvel R, first of all, let's talk about the range again. Again, I had only 114 kilometers an hour average speed, so very low, and I just got 2 kilometers more in the range test, so 260 kilometers at that speed. That would mean if I would drive 126 average speed, like I did in most tests when I do my tests at home, not in Freising, I would say again 230 kilometers, but this is a 65 kilowatt hour usable energy battery. So it's like the Kona, and the Kona in the same test had, where's the Kona? 344 kilometers with an average speed of 122. So when we go to 126, let's say 330, that's 100 kilometers more with the same battery. Consumption at the end at 114 kilometers an hour average speed was 244 watt hours per kilometer. It didn't rain. I didn't use the AC. I didn't use heat. It was 16 to 70 degrees, sunny. It was great conditions. Of course, when it would have been 25 degrees, consumption would have been higher because lower because the air density is less, and I would have gotten more range. But again, it was very low. Very low average speed. So range not good, consumption high. Drive was great. Way better than the MG5. Suspension is still very bumpy, but better. Steering was better at high speeds though. The Marvel R has a top speed of 200. At 180, I didn't dare to drive any faster because the car was very unstable. I feel it above 150, and even when you drive 130, when you go by a truck, you feel little winds and things in the road very well where you move around. Where in my ID3 I just drive straight, and I don't know what that is. That can't be the weight. They must be almost the same weight, but in my ID3 it doesn't matter if I drive 130, 160 unless there's extreme wind. Or extreme bumps in the car that move me around. I'm just stable straight. But in the Marvel R I moved around, and the MG Pilot was the worst. Because it moves you a tiny bit like this all the time, and then when you go over a bump and you go a bit in the air where you get lighter, I feel when I came back it even did it even more, and I felt that every time when I was going by a truck and there was a wind or whatever change and the car moved because of that, that the MG Pilot steered against it, but a bit too late. So every time I went by a truck with the MG Pilot, so self-driving feature, it felt like whoop, whoop. So it was really weird, and I didn't like it. So MG Pilot was horrible. When I remember in the MG ZS EV that I had for 2 weeks, the press car, I didn't mind it, I think. As far as I remember, it was okay. And so the normal drive is okay when you get too high speeds, and it can be a bit weird. But the biggest problem that I had with the Marvel R was the infotainment system. And I say it in the video too 200 times because it's just important. Everybody is complaining about Volkswagen's infotainment system, and they're right. I complain too, but the Marvel R system was the worst system I have ever used. experience-wise. It has great features and it looks great and it does great things. The problem is you have to press that touch screen extremely hard and it has to be very accurate. There's a button down beneath that brings you to home. You have to press that really hard, and then when you and it takes time till something happens. If you want the climate menu, you press on the climate hard, doesn't work, you press again and then comes up like this. It's not climate and then you change something. No, it's pressing. Come on. And then, okay, it comes up. Okay, what do I need? Oh, I need the temperature. Okay, temperature, down. It's horrible. And the worst thing, when I was filming, the navigation was, it looks horrible in the video. You will see that when I zoom around in the map, in the navigation system. But while driving, it was unusable. So I was driving and I wanted to navigate to Fastnet, where I was coming from, and so I pressed map, I moved, zoomed in, tried to zoom in, because when I pressed and zoomed in, and I think it has to do with that you have to press very hard, it didn't recognize my two fingers, so sometimes it wasn't zooming in, it was zooming out even though I did it. And when I moved, it then was zooming with just one finger. I couldn't get to where I was starting to. I couldn't get anywhere near that. 5 minutes and then I was no. I tried I had Android Auto attached via cable and thought I'd do that in Google Maps, but it's exactly the same thing because it has to do with the sensitivity of the touchscreen. Even there, you cannot zoom in. It doesn't work and doesn't work. It's just horrible infotainment system to work with, and I think it's just how fast it reacts to your press and how hard you have to press. And how accurate you have to be on the button that you need. So if this is your button and you're just a millimeter outside while driving at 130 on a bumpy road with a hard suspension, it's just very hard. And so you will see the video and I will say what I said in the video. I do not recommend the Marvel R. So if you want a normal experience with your car, the car that they had cost 50,000 euros. The Marvel R, 49,000 euros for a 65 kilowatt hour usable battery with 132 kilowatt rear wheel drive motor, 8 seconds 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, and 230 kilometers of range at highway speeds. Cannot recommend this car. I'm sorry. And it's just how it is. The MG5 was amazing infotainment system. Marvel R was just horrible. MG5 was driving meh. Marvel R was driving better. So they have to fix that, and it's still a bit too high of a consumption for me. But I didn't put that in the review video with the consumption because, again, I didn't drive it home. I cannot compare it to the other cars as well because I didn't drive the same route that I usually do. But I just saw that the consumption was high, even though with low average speed. Yeah, it's not amazing. Okay, what else did someone say? Ellie confirms it is not supported, will not say why, it just refers Ionity. Important question, do you find out with that? Anyone know if you can turn off stupid assistant of ID3? Stupid things comes on by itself. What are you talking about, assistant? When you think of lane assist, you can turn it off, but not permanently. If you think of when you use cruise control and it changes the speed automatically with the traffic signs, you can turn that off in adaptive cruise control in the assist ACC, and then speed limit preview. That's it. No, the voice command. You can turn that off. It's in, oh my god, settings somewhere, or maybe sound. It says what is it? Something with word, not trigger word. how do they call it? I don't know how it's called, but you can turn it off. I turned it off too. I don't want it as well. You can turn it off. Anybody seen a vehicle could not be fully charged? Please see owner's manual. Yeah, that happens. Then you plug in again and it does it. It appeared even before we charged it for the first time after picking it up fully charged from the dealer and after we charged it via granny charger. Yeah, it happens a lot, then it's weird. That is weird when it happens a lot, but I think I saw it once or twice, but there was something with the charger. It had nothing to do with the car. So we talked about MG5, MG Marvel R, that's it. Then we talk about 2.4 update. Okay, it's happening this week. It is happening even without charging at all. That is weird. Yeah, I would reset, long press, or let it stay for overnight. You don't do anything. It comes on asking me what radio channel or what phone number to call, just random things. It does it by itself. So it doesn't, that's weird. So without you saying hello ID and it doesn't have that thing, hello ID, that is weird. I never had that before. Wake word, that's it. It's called wake word. I turn that off and then I can say hello ID as often as I want to. Is someone in his ID as I say it? Hello ID. Or hello Google. Does my phone do so? No, I've turned it off. I'm so mean. Okay, 2.4 update. So tomorrow, July 11th, dealers get the info, can access the database of Volkswagen and can see, okay, this car, this VIN is free to get 2.4 update. We can make an appointment, and I hope and I think that do it all at the same time. Maybe not every country, but most countries. I don't know if they do it in waves again, so that, I don't know, first week only 1,000 cars or whatever are in this link, in this system or not. I don't know, but I guess it has nothing to do with that. So tomorrow, when you call a dealer or dealer calls you, but which I doubt because it's just work for him, you can call and say, hey, is my VIN already in the system? Can I make an appointment? He will look it up and then say, yes, we have the battery here, we have the software here, we've been trained how to do the update, we are ready, you can come tomorrow, next week, I don't know when, make your appointment. You come on that day in the morning, they will get the car, you will get a car from the dealer for free. They like to give you an electric car, but they cannot guarantee it. You have to pay for electricity or gas, whatever car you get, but the car is for free, you don't have to pay for the car. Then you drive on, they change the 12-volt battery, then they update the control unit to get 2.4. What you get with this update is a few things. Number one, the control unit that they update can then be updated via over the air. That's important to get 3.0. Second, scheduled charging will work from that moment on. And third, important, which is then important soon in the winter, is battery heating is changed. Right now at 8 degrees, when the battery temperature, so not outside temperature, the battery itself has a temperature of 8 degrees, it will be heated up with 6 kilowatt battery heater to 13 degrees every time. So you get into the car, turn it on, ignition, it will start to heat up the battery, even if you're not even driving. With 2.4, this temperature is down to 0 degrees, so the battery heater only goes on when the high voltage battery internal temperature has 0 degrees, and even then it's not heating with 6 kilowatt, it's heating, I don't know, but with less power and for some time to see what you're doing. So if the battery is at 0 degrees and you're just driving 10 kilometers, you're not getting very high consumption. The good thing is though that for the battery to get to 0 degrees, you have to park outside at very cold temperature for a while. But for example, if you're at -10 and you have the car overnight outside, it's possible it has 0 degrees in the morning. But if you have a garage like me, most likely, even at very cold temperatures, the battery will never reach 0 degrees, and that's cool. So battery heater won't do anything. That's the stuff, and then we get lower consumption on on short trips. So if you just drive 10 or 20 kilometers, battery heater will never go on, or just very low and then in steps. And then when you take a long trip, for example, in the winter, it's possible that because of driving on the highway, the power taking out of the battery warms up the battery because of internal resistance, and then you don't need the battery heater at all. But with that also means if you drive in the morning and you have a battery with 2 degrees and you go to a charger, you get very low charging speed and for a very long time because the battery heater didn't heat up the battery. And 2.4, even 3.0 and 3.1 does not include battery heating when navigating to a charger yet. We'll see when this is coming. They're working on it. I'm sure they're testing it sometime, somehow, but it's not being announced when it will come. But they're talking about it, that they want it to implement it. Maybe it is in 3.1 because 3.1 is not finished, the one that I tested in the ID.5, for example, but maybe it's already done. It would be nice to have that also in the next winter, so in 4 to 5 months. So it should be, when it's in 3.1, we're not getting it before this winter. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so, and then when 2.4 is installed, you get your car washed, maybe even charged, I don't know, but I think if they have their own car wash, they will wash it, give you the car, give you a pamphlet for 3.0 that will come soon, how it will all work, and what you have to do, that you don't have to do anything, you're prepared for 3.0 and will start soon. 3.0 will start also very soon. I cannot tell you when. They told me, but I'm not allowed to say. It's just very soon after 2.4 starts. That's what I can say. And it's again also not set in stone when it will start. It will start with a low number first to send out the update. And it will be 2 packages. So 3.0 will be downloaded in 2 packages. First package install, second package install, something like this. To heat manually, use B mode and drive like a kangaroo. That should heat up the battery. Or do YOLOing. Full power, full regen. Full power, full regen. Something like that. And the problem is you can see if your battery is cold in the winter when your regen and power limit is low, or it's high limit. Then you know your battery is very cold. But when you have full regen, full power, then you know you have 13 degrees around, but you cannot see when you have 25 degrees, which you need for optimum charging power in the ID.3. So you will never know. Does the update improve the speed of the infotainment system? No, it does not. Even 3.0, 3.1 doesn't do that. The speed, I don't know what problem you have with the infotainment system. When you mean clicking around when it's already up, I think that's fine. I don't have any problem with it. What you mean is the booting up. You get into the car, you see the Volkswagen logo, it's booting up, it's taking time. And this has nothing to do with software. This is the hardware that's just too weak for a fast startup process. They just decided on a hardware that can withstand everything that's going on while driving. But the booting process is very slow. And that's a big problem. Cars with software 2.3 from factory already have battery heating to 0 degrees. That's true. And they also have the scheduled charging working also, because this one control unit has been updated in the factory. But if you don't have 2.3 from the factory, then you have to get 2.4. The cars from the factory 2.3 also don't get a new 12-volt battery, and they don't even need 2.4. I don't know. They told me yes, they do. But I don't think so. We'll see. You'll see if you get invited. They could start booting when you open the door. They could make it faster. It does sometimes. But again, it just takes a minute, I would say, till all the systems are up. You can drive, it's fine, but the climate, you cannot change anything in the climate or do anything else, but you can drive. I prefer that than to the MG, to the Marvel R, which every time you started, the instrument cluster had to boot up, and it took 10 to 15 seconds. You get an animation and everything, and in this 10-15 seconds you cannot drive. That was more annoying. But it's totally true, the minute to wait for the boot up process. And I don't have a problem with the boot up process per se. So when the car is sleeping in the garage and I come in the morning and it has to boot up, what's happening? We were red for a second. And I have to wait for the boot up, I'm okay. But if I drive, park the car, get out, throw a letter in the post office, come back, and then it's booting up when it was off for 2 minutes, this is annoying. Why does it do that? Why does it boot new when I was just out for a minute? It wasn't asleep or anything. This is what I find annoying. Okay, we did that. 2.4, 3. Who are you? Who are you? Mr. Lemaitre. How are you? Are we meeting in Copenhagen? Yeah, we talk about that in a second. What's all happening? Okay, I have my appointment for 2.4 in July 20th. That is Wednesday in a week. I wanted it this week, but my dealer has no service people there. Why is it this week? It was just red again. And so he couldn't do it this week. So I get it next week. This Saturday I will meet one of my... Do you like hummus? Of course, it's the best food there is, and I would love to have a cooking show where we just make hummus. And the YouTube channel will be called Hummus, nothing else. And it says those words, nothing else. July 16th I meet with Darren. He was just here. He's in Hamburg. He's a very nice guy, YouTube member of mine, channel member who's from Manchester, and he's coming around. He met me 1.5 years ago when I got Walter, my ID3, and we did a little comparison with... Back then he had the Tesla Model 3 single motor, rear wheel drive. Then he got, afterwards, he got a long range dual motor, and now he has a Model Y dual motor long range. And we're meeting up, having coffee. Like I said, on the 20th I get the update. On the 22nd, July 22nd, that's important, Friday, not local, but close by dealer, 100 kilometers away, 2 hummus cooking together. It's also good. To be fair, even the TomTom based system on my Smart 4.4 takes a similar time to boot to the ID3. Yeah, but that's unusual. Most cars, when they get in, it's just there. And I mean, Kona, it's there. You have to click something away, some privacy thing, but it's always there. Any plans with Darren Candle dinner? Will he bring the toys you forgot in Marbella? Cindy and I and the dogs and him and his, I don't even know, wife or girlfriend, I don't know, will go for coffee. I'll show him Posa a bit. And he said he brings me donuts from Prague, from my favorite place. We'll see if he has time for that. Back on July 22nd in Regensburg from a Renault dealer, I get the Megane electric E-Tech. I'm excited about that. It's all over the dealers right now, but this is the first time I could get a car, because it's not that easy, because they of course want the car for people to test drive and order them. I saw the car a few times at AHM in Freising, and it looks really cool. The Android system looks great. Not a lot of space in the rear. That's what I noticed. We'll see about that, how it feels, how the consumption is. I can take it home. So I drive from Regensburg home. I will do a few live streams on the day when I get it home. I want to do a live stream. Then next day the range test, and then I want Cindy to be in the car and say what she thinks about it, because it's similar to the ID3, and then drive it back on Sunday evening. Loving, now you have to explain who is there, and probably will have to do that for myself too. Yes, because you can't even use your normal name as your YouTube name. Yes, Renault Megane is a few kilometers too short. We'll see. Like I said, I sat in it, and it looks cool. Looks like a great car. I have to test drive it, how it drives, how the consumption is, how charging is. Peak charging of 130 kilowatt. We'll see how the charge curve is and everything. Want to test this all on a weekend of the 22nd of July. Then August, there's nothing as far as I know. Is there anything? Sometime in August I will get from a local dealer the new Kia Niro EV to test drive for a day. But I don't know yet. I asked them again when they're expecting it. They say they will get it in August. I have a second dealer. They would give me the car in September, but I hope I get it in August, of course. On August 16th, I get the ID5 GTX press car, and important, August 19th to August 21st, I'm invited to the Volkswagen ID Bus Media Drive in Copenhagen, so in Denmark. And right now I'm planning how I do this. I can just fly. Volkswagen will pay for everything. I just drive to Munich, fly to Copenhagen. I guess on the Friday, so the 19th, it's just gathering, say hello. On a Saturday, there's presentation of the ID bus with all the details, and then driving around for the day. In the evening, dinner, and on Sunday, everything home. I'm guessing this is the plan. I don't know the plan yet. I just know the date, and that I'm invited, and that it is in Copenhagen. That's all I know. I thought, why not drive there? It would be an amazing adventure. I talked to Cindy about it, and she hates it, and she doesn't want me to do it, and she's totally against it, and she's mad. And then I suggested, what if I don't drive alone? What if I drive with someone? And she's still against it and doesn't like it, and we're fighting over it every day when we talk about it. So it might not be happening, because I don't want my life to be miserable. But I also want to do it because it would be an amazing adventure. I know it will be horribly exhausting to drive 14 hours. It's 1,200 kilometers, 14 hours one way on the Friday. Then on the Saturday, the testing, and on Sunday, driving back. On Monday, I have to work. I know it's a lot, and I know it sounds horrible, and it's a big thing, and it's dangerous because driving so much. But it's also something adventurous, and I'm getting older, and I wanted to do something like this since I have Walter. Even before, I was dreaming I would drive with Walter to London, or to the Normandy coast or something, and with Walter, it would have taken way longer because slower charging speed and smaller battery. And with the ID5 GTX, I get good charging speed, and I have the big battery. And it would be fun and a lot of space and comfy. And I'm sure it's take the train. I don't think so. That would be way too long. I'd rather fly. Just it's 1.5 hours from Munich, so I drive 1.5 hours to Munich, and then fly 1.5 hours to Copenhagen. It would be the fastest. That would also be the cheapest for Volkswagen. I think the train would be just boring. And right now I'm in the process. Why is it red? Why is the stream red? Come on. Now it's green again. We're back. I never know why that is. Why it loses frames. I don't think that. I think it has to do with YouTube, not with me. It was orange for a second. Orange is never good. Because I have a color scheme. Green is great. Orange is like now. Yellow is worse, and red is the worst. then you don't see me. So I'm in talks with a few other YouTube people that are some are invited, some are not invited, some are even invited on the same at the same time. And I have another meeting this Tuesday with someone who's invited, and a YouTube channel, they want to work with me. We'll see. We'll talk about it and everything, how that is. All the flights are cancelled these days. Yeah, that would be bad. I have Luxembourg to Copenhagen a few times per year. 1150 kilometers when driving over Jutland, Assembly reach. That's nice. Well, we're gonna if we drive, I'm not taking ferry. We're just doing the what you just said, the bridge. This year driving is probably faster than flying because of the chaos at the airports these days. Oh, that's true. Never thought of that. That's true. Never thought of that. I should look how long the train is, but I'm pretty sure the train is extremely long. I think it's gonna be. Hi, I'm from India, but don't know why, but YouTube algorithm recommended you. Well, that's wrong. I shouldn't be recommended to everyone. I'm very sorry. YouTube tricked you. It would make for a great long drive, test drive an ID3. I don't want 2,500 kilometers on Walter. No, I'm at around 40,000 kilometers now. And in September, when I have Walter for 2 years, I'm allowed to be at 45. So I'm 5,000 kilometers right now under, and I still have 2 months to go. I would say another, in 2 months, maybe 1,000. So I'm 4,000 under. That would be cool. Maybe 2,000 and 3,000 under. No, but if I want to go that far, I want to go in a bigger capacity battery to have and higher charging power. It's just the 77 kilowatt hour battery, even with the old charging curve with 2.3, but especially now with 3.0, 3.1, great charging curve, gets way more range into the battery in lower time than my ID3, for example. It's good that it's in the summer. In the winter, it would be horrible. Would have to charge at 85% all the time, maybe even 90%. To get to the next charger. And in the ID5 GTX, it's just no problem, especially in the summer. I'm again red and orange and green. Yeah, I don't know why that is. So like I said, I'm in talks with people to do that. A few already said no. The one said he's a university student right now and doesn't have time for that, and he's just gonna fly there, do it, and go back. Whatever. The other one says no, he doesn't see what the content is about. Would Volkswagen Press loan you an ID4, ID5 GTX for a drive like that? Yes, they did. It's already booked from the 16th July to 30th of July. I get ID5 GTX press car, and I can do that drive. I still, if I do it, really, I have to ask them, how do we do that with charging? Do I pay for that? And then later they give me a kilometer thing if I drive by myself there, or do they just give me a WeCharge card and then we don't have to do that? We'll see. September might be when mine is built. 1 year in the queue. Advantage is it can now be read. That's cool. Hi, how do I know if my ID3 Pro has a heat pump? When you turn on the heat, and it gets extremely loud, and the steering wheel is a tiny bit vibrating, you have a heat pump. If you, not the fan, so that you keep the fan in the middle or something, but you turn on the heat. And best is when you're outside of the car. A heat pump is then very loud, and if it doesn't have a heat pump, there's no difference between heating or non-heating. There's no sound difference. My new ID5 GTX is built week 36. When is 36? That's the beginning of September. That's good. So that's the plan. We'll see if I drive, if I fly or whatever. I will look into train, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. The next thing is, yes, in the beginning of September 1st to September 1st to September 8th, BMW told me I will get an i4 press car for a week. Sadly, they wanted to give it to me in the middle of August, but like I said, this is where I'm at the ID Bus Media Drive in Copenhagen, and this time I asked right away, can I tell people that I'm invited? Can I tell people what I'm doing there? Can I make a picture in Copenhagen with the car? And they said, yes, you can do everything. There's an embargo on how the car is driving. And why do they do an embargo? They do that because there are there are a lot of press people invited to test drive the ID Bus, the production version, but it's over 2 weeks. And so if the first person drives the car, makes a video and puts it on in the evening, hey, ID Bus drives great, or but this is bad, this is great, then he has an advantage over the person who's invited the last day of the 2 weeks and they don't want it. That's why there's an embargo, and the embargo is on how the ID Bus is driving, and that's why I can talk about it. That's nice. I have to ask that every time when there's an embargo, what can I say, what can I not say? And this I can say. I can talk about that I'm there, where, and I'm driving the ID Bus production version, but I cannot talk how it drives. That I can, the driving experience I can talk about when the embargo ends. I don't even know when that was. I think the beginning of September or something. Then the videos will come out. Then it will take you. He's doing nothing. Yeah, he told me he would drive me if I pay for the flight to Munich. Does the heat pump actually do anything now other than make the noise? It heats up your cabin, but right now in the summer it's not that important. But in the winter it heats up the cabin way more efficient than a PTC heater. So you have more range. I measured I think 9% in the ID3, but they, with a software update that's still to come, they want to improve it to be even more efficient. Yeah, we talked about the plans. What else? I think that's it. That's it. So this week you will be seeing the Marvel R videos. The two Saturday I'm meeting Darren, but no video or anything. And then 2.4 update is the week after. Not my fault. I wanted it this week. I wanted it this Friday actually, on the 15th. But they can't make it because they don't have service. I don't know, everyone's sick or whatever. No idea. Yeah, that's it for me. What's with you? How are you guys doing? Is anyone? Ooh, Cindy got the stuff. How much? €3.05. Cute. Yes, here Cindy was bidding something on something on eBay, and she put her she put a timer on it so she wouldn't forget. Cute. Oh, by the way, how is Cindy and the cat and dog? Cindy is, as always, she always has something that hurts. That's how it is. That's just how it is. How much is this? 50 plus 60 divided by 1755. 29 people. Okay, that's nice. The dogs are great. Finnegan is great too, but he's not here. He's at my parents'. They have him for the next few weeks. They're home, and he needs that anyways. They love him and they pay attention to him all the time. He's never alone. And here we go to work. He's alone for a few 3 days a week for 9 hours. What's my voice? Talking too much. Not drinking enough. It's cold here, by the way. 16 degrees out there, but it should get warmer on Wednesday or Thursday. That's good. 28 degrees then. What else? Looking forward to getting my 2022 ID4 all-wheel drive blue with gradient this month. Finally, ordered October 21. Well, October to now, what is it, 9 months? That's okay. No 5-hour story. No, I don't have any 5-hour story. Don't worry. Don't worry. Not like with the ID Bus story in February, but we'll look at train later. To Copenhagen, how long that is. It was to Hamburg, it was as fast as driving. Maybe it's even costs the same. But do I want to do, if then I want to do first class. If I want to take the train, I want to do first class. Do I still have to wear the mask in trains? I have no idea. It would be nice to not wear a mask for 8 hour story then. Can't you do a road trip video if going to Copenhagen? Yes, I want to do that. I want to do, if I go with someone else, really, then I want to film it and do a live stream. If if there is no first class cargo, maybe. If nobody wants to go with me, I will most likely fly or see how the train is, but most likely I will fly because it would just take so much time and I don't get any content out of it. I mean, sitting in the train for 14 hours, it's not a great video, is it? Nothing interesting there. Yeah. Your thoughts on the MG4, please? Well, I said it already. I tested MG5 and the MG Marvel R, and I will make a video in a few days also about that specs are not everything. I say it all the time, and I have to repeat it again every time when a car maker that is not here for a long time, and it doesn't even matter. Even Volkswagen or whatever can make a car that spec-wise sounds great, and then you drive it and you're like, I don't know. It's great that the WLTP range is this, but my real range is this. It doesn't drive that great. The steering is weird. Suspension is weird. Yeah, it has the same specs as the other car, but the other car drives 10 times more, 10 times better. And that's why I'm not excited about the MG4. If the MG4 would have anything that's even spec-wise better or just amazing, if it already had 800 volt system, if it can charge with 230 kilowatt, if it's a 75 kilowatt hour battery, if WLTP range is 500 or 520 kilometers, and still for the price of an ID3 and the size of an ID3, I would be more interested. Since it is almost the same specs as an ID3, but I drove MG5 and Marvel R, I'm not excited at all. I doubt that in one generation, a year ago, they will have an amazing driving car that my ID3 is. I'm sorry. I know ID3 or all MEB platform cars have big problems, especially when it comes to, it tells me that I should put another advertising in here. I would just do that. 3, 2, 1. Nah? No, there will be a bigger battery for the ID bus, but they haven't said yet how big it is. It's not mentioned yet. So if he says 84 net, that's all speculation, or someone told him, but he shouldn't have. One of those things. They more have a cheaper car and so more problems. Still no advert. That's good. So my ID3 has its problem. 2 ads. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. 2 at the same time. But bling bling bling. Nothing happened. Wonder if it gets added when someone watches playback, not live. It's possible. Got an ad for Vasa. YouTube Premium. Yeah, YouTube Premium rules. I have it too. Especially sad considering how underwhelmed you were by the MG5, right? Yeah. That's true. Whether the same ad, 2 times the same ad. So yeah, my ID3, as I said, it has its problems. That's true, but the drive in it, especially when you drive more than just to work. If you just drive to work 30 kilometers and back, or let's say 50 kilometers, then you don't need an MG4. Then you can drive something else too. You can drive a Zoe or whatever. But for a longer drive, let's say 500-600 kilometers where you have charged once or twice in between, it's great to have a good battery, good consumption, and good charging, but how it drives is as important. Is it quiet in there? Yeah, I haven't said that. MG5 was very loud at 130. Marvel R was better, but still louder than my ID3. In the video I say it's fine, but then when I drove home with Walter, my ID3, I noticed, oh, it's way quieter at 130. Now, it was okay in the Marvel R. In the MG5 it was, oh my god, this is loud at 130. Not comfortable. And what I mean, loud, bumpy, steering a bit unstable. Why is it red again? I never know. This is not a comfortable drive when you have to go 500 kilometers. It's just not nice. You don't want that. And again, this costs money, of course. But for me, I think it's something that I'm willing to spend money for a comfortable drive. Some need space, some need power, some need, I don't know what. I want a comfortable, quiet ride. And Volkswagen gives me that. That's why I'm very happy with my ID3, even with all the problems I had, which were in the first 3 months. So since 2.0, which is December 2020, I didn't have any problems with my ID3. I would love a bigger battery, would love more power. Well, the power is not the important thing, but a bigger battery for more range and the charging curve of this. I would love the 77 kilowatt hour battery with the charging curve in ID software 3.0 in my Walter, but still have the same nimbleness, regen feel and power that my car gives me. The big battery in the ID3, you feel it's heavy. It's heavy. All-wheel drive I would love, but it's not the. I would like it in my next car. That's true. The frame rate drops also sometimes. Yeah, it says it, when it's red here, then the frame rate drops, and there should even be a pause and nothing happens when this is. The dedicated EV platform costs definitely seem to set a major benchmark when it comes to refinement. YouTube want an ad every 2 minutes here, short on cash. When does the contract run out? In September 23. I'm still working what I get afterwards. I don't even know if I want to buy a car or lease a car. We'll see. If I don't get a car, I'm red again. Green again. If I don't know what to do. Come on, just work. Do I have to end the stream and start it again? Should I do that? It's red all the time. Still red. I know you can see me, but it looks like it's horrible. And dropping flames like crazy. First the MG startup. Yeah, no, this doesn't work anymore. I don't know why. Moment of surrender. I hear the typing. It's up now. Nah, it's not working. All I have is red. And we're losing frames. And again, I don't know why. It happened before. It's not my internet connection. It's all perfect here. I can watch a YouTube video here on the side and send it. It's no problem. Yeah. Works perfectly. It's not on my side. YouTube doesn't want me to stream. That's it. Nah, this looks horrible. It's all red. I get not enough frame rate. I will end the stream then here. It's just YouTube not liking me to continue do that. It's okay. You all take care. Thank you all for watching. Sorry for the weird ending. You take care. Thank you much for watching. Bye. That's green. Does it still work? That's green. I don't know why. That works. Freaking thing. It's a show effect. Oh god. Did I say a proper goodbye? Yeah, you all got... No, it works. It's all green and everything's fine. Yeah, it was just... Yeah, whatever. I say goodbye in a normal way. So, watch out for the 2 Marvel R, MG Marvel R videos this week. And the week after, it's 2.4 update time. And hopefully you get it earlier. But that's it for me.